No. What's good, everybody? This your girl, Lady Miz, and I'm here with Ray. This is From the Ground Up Productions, and we are rocking out with Saen. What's good, Saen? How you doing today?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Listen, I just want to tell the people that I'm very glad that I have came across and met somebody like you, an artist, dope artist, by the way, and someone who is very, very conscious on everything. I was listening to you, your interview on the judges table. That's where I actually seen you for the first time, and you really caught my attention with a lot of things that you were saying. So I want to talk about some of those things, but I also want to talk about your music so people know who you are and how they can support you. So the first thing I want you to do is introduce yourself and tell the people where you're from.
Well, my name is Saen. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. I've been rapping for about 19 years. I started in 2001, and I started when I was 15 years old, and I started making albums the old school way. And then in 2005, I did an audition, and I got an opportunity to do some international traveling and performing overseas. So that's how I made a career out of this music industry. And from there, you know, things didn't change in the music industry a lot, but I'm still trying to hang in there and do what I do.
Okay. All right. Okay. So you from, or were you born in Atlanta, ATL?
Yeah. I was born in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Dope. Okay. Now, when getting into the music industry, is there anyone specifically that inspired you to want to do this, or is just something that you just wanted to do on your own?
I was inspired by Curtis Mayfield. I was inspired by the Isley Brothers. Hip hop artists, I would have to say LL Cool J, Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., Rakim. You know, I was inspired by people like that because they were the people that was on the radio that was you know, they was doing their thing, and they encouraged me. So, you know, you're only as good as your teacher. So I was taught by them, not personally taught by them, but just by their influence and the way they did things.
Okay. All right. Dope. Okay. You named a lot of legends there. To me, they're all legends if they made a difference and inspired somebody. You know what I mean? So they did their job. That's the way
Absolutely.
I look at it. Because that's what music is about. It's an art form of expression, is to inspire people. So that's dope. And I think that you're doing that also with your music as well. So talk to me about the albums that you have out right now. Because one of my favorites, just so you know, I was listening to your catalog, and you have a really large catalog with a lot of dope, great music. And and I know that this one might have been on one of your older albums, but Trust is a Fool's Word. I really love that song. I think when it comes to music, it's about timing. But before we get into that, I want you to talk to me about your albums and tell me, you know, about that song in particular too, because that's one of my favorites.
Okay, well, put my first album out in 2001. It was called The Product of the Lost and Found. Then I put out the second in 2003. No, 2002. It was called The Ghetto Blood. Then I put out the third one. It's called Living in Pain. Then I put out, you know, back then you could put out albums, but I had a contract with FYE and Best Buy. So we put out albums. We had to pay for the barcodes. We put our stuff out. And so when I went overseas, I had to take a whole bunch of CDs with me at that time. But it became very convenient in 2012 when I dropped the Bio of a Madman, because I didn't use CDs no more. I used a digital platform where I could be somewhere and somebody can buy my music on iTunes or Amazon. So it became very convenient until the industry corrupted the process. See, the process is corrupted.
Yes,
you know,
talk to us about that.
We started wanting independence. We started wanting things. And in $1 billion industry, a poor black man can't make no money in this music industry anymore. You can't make no money in this music industry no more because they took it from MP3s to digital downloads and streaming. Not digital downloads, streaming. They took it to streaming, and that's 10% of a penny every time someone's streaming your music.
Yes.
You can make more money picking up cans off the street than you can make doing that. And they know that. It's $1 billion industry and we can't make pennies. And that's ridiculous. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. And people don't see it. They say, oh, we making money. No, the artists you see make money, they have endorsements.
That's right.
They have endorsements. They have Sprite endorsements and different, like Lil Yachty, he had a Sprite endorsement that paid him $4 million to be on the Sprite commercial playing the piano and making noise. Now, you're an MC like I'm an MC. You wasn't an MC, I wouldn't even be speaking to you like this. But you know that was no talent. He wasn't necessary in that Sprite commercial. But they want to make a fool of us. They want to take our industry and make it look like a clown show. And that's personal to me because I didn't invest in my time and my money into this, and this is the way I make a living. So you take an industry that was built off Public Enemy, that was built off even NWA, that was built off KRS-One. You know, when I was a kid, I heard this song called "You Must Learn" by KRS-One and Boogie Down Production, and in that song, he described the whole structure of civilization in a 5-minute song. That made me want to be involved in this and have a place in this. But for you to take that and destroy it completely, that's sabotage. That's sabotage, and that's ridiculous. And I don't appreciate it. That's why I speak on it. Everybody like, why you keep saying all this stuff, Saen? You done made a lot of money in the music industry. No, it's not that I didn't made a lot of money in the music industry. I took certain avenues to make money in the music industry. But Biggie was poor. He was homeless. Tupac was poor and homeless. Now you make it all about money. They didn't took the music industry and made it all about money. And the only person that can make money in the music industry is somebody that got money. That's ridiculous. That's not what this was built off of. This was for the people. We was boxed out of disco. That's why hip hop came about. We was boxed out. We had no platform in disco. If you didn't sing, you couldn't make no money. If you couldn't do doo-wop, you couldn't make no money. So we created our own avenue with poetry and beats and nursery rhyme. We made our own industry, create our own avenue so we would not starve. We would not have to sell drugs to our people. And you take and destroy that, that is wrong. That's why I take it personal. So that's wrong. That's not fair.
Now I got a question. When you call out, like when you speak like this, do you find it where other artists don't want to deal with you because you're speaking out against that? Against, you know, the way the music is?
The truth.
Because it's an organization. See, 98% of the wealth in this country belong to Caucasian people. Whenever you deal with wealth, you're giving white people power. And black people don't realize that. Most black people don't even realize that 98% of the wealth belong to Caucasian people. That is their strong point. Our strong point is unity, bartering, and trade. Their strong point is wealth. So whenever we have a situation where we try to unify, they come in and corrupt us with the wealth. That's going on right now. They coming in and saying, we're going to donate this much money to you all. We're going to donate this much money. They come in with the wealth. That's their strong point. And they use that strong point very strategically.
Okay.
To keep us in a certain position. When they came in and started offering us big record deals and offering us this and that, they said, oh, wow, I wasn't making nothing doing this. Yes, that's what they use to separate you and to make you powerful. Like when I was speaking about Lil Yachty, I have no disrespect to the young boy or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is this: they gave him $4 million for something that you knew wasn't valuable. So they just corrupted our industry with money again.
Right.
Because they know that's what we go for. If 98% of the wealth in this country belong to Caucasian people, and in this country, this is a capitalist society. So that means that if you don't have money, you're nothing. You don't mean nothing. You can't do nothing. So if 98% of the wealth in this country belong to white people and Caucasian people, then who are the poor people that's being mistreated by the capitalist society? Us. And when you look at that,
we the main ones always.
We the main ones always. Okay. In black communities, it's certain things you're gonna find. You're gonna find a McDonald's, and they claim they're selling you a hamburger. And McDonald's, the most powerful restaurant in the world, they claim they're selling you a hamburger, but it's not a hamburger they're selling you. You cannot pay for a hamburger cannot be manufactured for $1, but they put these hamburgers on a dollar menu. And then when you go to Buckhead and places like Manhattan, you find places like Shake Shack that sell real hamburgers, and those burgers cost $7. But the burgers they're selling you ain't nothing but toxic waste. They're selling you toxic waste and poison to the poor community. You can't even afford to live.
That is a
You
fact.
can't
We don't
afford
even
to
eat
live.
at those places. We
I
don't
don't
eat
eat
at
no
none of those fast food restaurants at all. I ain't gonna lie, we was eating Chick-fil-A though, because Chick-fil-A was good. But all those other spots, we stopped eating fast food because we don't even really trust the food anyway. You know, that's why I think it's also important for us to learn how to grow our own food, because I know that for me, because I feel very strongly about a lot of things that you say as well, and I'm in agreement with a lot of things. But one thing that I feel that our people need to do is we have to know how to produce our own food, because that we can't fight a fight and then go to the person we're fighting against to give us things that we need to live, to survive.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's important.
Yes.
Is that there's a many different ways that we have to fight this fight.
Absolutely. See, what I was saying was this: we can't afford. We want a hamburger, but we can't afford it. So they give us something that says a hamburger, and they really putting toxic waste in you.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are dying for cancer, and I'm gonna keep it real with you because I'm on a radio platform, and that's what I do when I do radio platform. Tell you the truth. Our doctors are selling us out. Our lawyers are selling us out. Our teachers are selling us out. We are being sold out as a people. The same thing a white man is mistreated about. If he get mistreated and treated a certain way, he can go sue. You take a black man with the same circumstance and he try to sue, they're gonna say you have no case. The mortgages companies are selling us out. When you go buy a car, they're selling you out. They charging to giving you 72-month mortgage. 72-month car notes. That is a nigger car note, and everybody know it. That's white, because I talk to millionaires that's live in Buckhead. They pay 48 months for the same car that I drive, and they pay less payments, and I pay more payments because I'm a black man when I go on there. And the people that's doing this to me is not white people, it's black people. They convince them to. That's what happened when you 98% of the wealth. It goes back to they got the money, and listen, you can charge them a little more, we can give you some kickback, but you do it to your people. Because we know they're going to go to you because they trust you. Psychologically, you're going to go to a black man when it's time to buy a house. And he's going to hit you with a 30-year mortgage. 30-year mortgage is a nigger mortgage. Most black folks get mad when I say it, but it's true. Every white person I know that buy property pay for 15 years or 10-year mortgages. Black folks pay 30 years. Now, you don't even desire to buy a house till you're at least 30. So when you buy it when you're 30, you pay it off when you're 60. And we dying at that age. That's corrupting the generational wealth. We don't see that, though. You say, "Oh no, I'm trying to tell you certain things," but I know people. Most of my people are they ignore me and they write me off because they fell a victim. Now, if I was running in the field and I fell down in a well, and I happen to get out that well, and I see another person running down that field, I'm saying, "Don't go down that well. You're gonna fall in that well. Don't run in that field. You're gonna fall in that well." That's what you do. Just because I fell a victim, that don't mean I gotta dismiss the person that's telling me about falling a victim. Right. Yeah, I fell a victim to a 30-year mortgage. Yeah, I fell a victim to a 72-month car note. That's why I'm telling people those are nigger. They call them niggers notes. Those are nigger notes. That's what they do. They corrupt. That's what they wealth. And we got to start taking that seriously. We got to stop making everything about money. Because we losing our women, we losing our kids, and we losing the men. So what do you got? You're losing the whole family structure.
That's right. That's right. You know what I really like about you is because, again, I know that you're an artist, but one thing that when I'm watching you, even on social media, when I watched you on the judges table being interviewed, talking to you now, what I really respect about you is that even though you're an artist, you really care about the people in the community. So you'll talk more about that than anything else, and it's good to put it out there. I want people to know who you are so they also can support you as well too in what you do. But you remind me also of myself, because sometimes what you care about so much more, what you think is more relevant that people should hear and talk about that can make a difference, you focus more on that. And I just want to salute you for that, because I know there's not a lot of people that's out there. It's about what I could get for this moment, check me out, and then that's it. You know what I mean? But I like the fact that you bring both. You have a nice balance.
Let me tell you something, lady man.
I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you what I hear from you, right? Is the because you like you said, you've been down the road where the 72-month mortgage and 30-year loans. and you try to tell other people, and I think that's a problem with our Black people, is the lack of trust for each other. When we try to tell somebody not to go down that road, they think that somebody's trying to keep them from something, you know? Like keep them from something good, instead of understanding that it's something bad I'm trying to protect you from, you know? And that's the biggest issue from our people.
Trust. Trust is a fool's word, right?
That's right, yeah. But I listen to your music. Lady Miss, I listen to your music. You're my favorite female artist now. Because let me tell you why. Whenever you talk about pro-Black issues, after 1965, when Malcolm X was shot off the stage, whenever you talk about pro-Black issues, you are risking your life. Yes. And there's no joke. This man was assassinated in 1965, and we wasn't even integrated then. It was nothing but Black people in the ballroom. He didn't think his life was going to be threatened. He didn't think Black people would kill him for loving him this much.
Yep.
So anytime, we got to start taking it seriously. Anytime you talk pro-Black, or anytime you talk about uplifting Black people, you are risking your life. So I don't give a damn about no Nicki Minaj. I don't care about no Cardi B. All of them are good MCs, but you are much more than that, because you are putting your life on the line to educate your people. You are my favorite female MC. And I'm not just saying that because I like you as a person. It's because you earned my respect with your talent. That's something that artists do not have to do no more. Right. Gucci Mane didn't have to earn people respect. John Jesus didn't have to earn people respect. When I went on tour in 2005, and I was in Dubai, and I came in from the Philippines. After I came in from the Philippines, it was a rapper came out named Young Jeezy. And I said, okay, let me check him out. When I listened to his music, I said, oh, he sound okay, but he must be politically correct. So it got to be something special about him for y'all to like him this much. And you know, because we older people, so you know that his flow wasn't what it needed to be at that time. I'm just keeping it real.
Right.
Now,
I feel you.
Now 80% of the rappers have watered down their flow and concentrated on their ad-libs to surface. Yeah. And I'm not dissing him because I know the guy. I'm not dissing him. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing him. I'm just saying, you watered down the industry. You made it easy for people to come in and create a platform. And by you, how can I put this? I gotta be careful how I say this. What I'm saying is this. We gotta start valuing artists off of different things. Yes. You know, because there's a lot of political prisoners sitting in prison right now on the West Coast that ain't never coming home, and they risk their lives for the same stuff that Black Lives Matters are doing right now. But they risk their lives. We're not even talking about them. And when they was in prison, they would listen to Tupac Shakur. His mama was a Panther, and they said, "We proud." He putting it on the radio. He putting it out there. What you think they feel like now when they listen to our Black women saying, "I'm a savage and I'm ratchet"? You the mother of civilization. You is the mother of civilization. Do you realize who you are? You're not a savage. You're not a savage. That's the police department that should be saying I'm a savage. You got all those young girls savages. You're not a savage.
I got somebody, and I'm not gonna call names, but I like the person. She's a cool person, but and I'm saying that because I don't want to judge the sister, but I seen her post, and it was like, this dude had the nerve to call me a queen, like, and she said it like, please, I'm a gangster bitch, or I'm a savage, and she said that, so it was like in a reference of, she took offense of someone calling her queen, because people and Black women are just allowing this whole, they want to run with bitch is powerful, this and that, and they want to run with these labels that were given to us to degrade us and say, oh, I'm gonna make it be like something special. But no, you're degrading yourself. You don't understand what your real value is. Now, the reason that I said what I said in the beginning, where I said I'm not gonna judge her, is because there was a point where I was like that. There was a point where I was lost. I was a Black girl lost in this system, in this society that made me feel that way. So I spoke of only what I knew and what I was around. And then until I got myself out of that situation and started paying attention to people that uplift me, is when I started to realize things. And then I started to examine myself and knew my worth. Sometimes when I look at these other Black females out there, my heart hurts, right? And it really does, because I'm saying, damn, this sister don't know how valuable she is, but I'm upset and I'm judging her in my mind, but and at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm judging her in my mind, but maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should just probably try to speak encouraging, uplifting words to her and hope that she take those words and let it do something, resonate, you know? So it's difficult when you look at stuff, because this society and this system has corrupted a lot of people's mind. And this whole mental slavery is stronger than ever. You know what I mean? It's stronger than I think it's stronger than it's ever been before, because a lot of people that think they're free ain't free. A lot of people that think they're woke, they're not woke. I always say they're sleepwalking. You know what I mean? So
that's absolutely correct.
I don't know, you know, again, to these sisters out there that's talking like that, and they want to say, you know, they trying to get the bag. Maybe that's their only way. But that's why I always ask this one question.
Why is it that they only way though? Why is that? Because the wealth belongs to the devil.
Right,
the
right,
wealth
right.
belongs to the devil. That's why that's the only way. Because they make you do that to get the wealth. Even when you sign a record contract, certain things you ain't gonna be allowed to say. And the worst thing, the worst crime you can commit in this country is the truth. When you tell the truth, you risking your life. I don't care if you white or black. When you telling the truth, you risking your life, because the truth always goes back to us. It always goes back to us being mistreated. I don't care. If you a person about the truth and you study the truth, you're going to get back to Black people are being mistreated. They're not treated right. Then they say, where are your leaders? We need to talk to one of you. You killed our leaders. You got government programs that prove, government files that prove you killed every one of our leaders. So don't be begging for no fucking leader now. Excuse my language. Don't be begging for no leader now. You killed our leaders.
And then
we ain't got no leader.
Left. The leaders that we got now, like Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, have no spine. And those are the people that
on
try to bring
payroll.
our message, you know?
Yeah, they on payroll.
Yeah.
It goes back to the wealth. It always goes back to the wealth. We gotta start bartering and trade, and we gotta bring our wealth up.
Yes.
And we gotta bring our wealth up within, not what they call wealthy. Like with you're more valuable than any other artist to me. And it ain't because you got $1 million, it ain't because you got a Rolex on, it ain't because you got a Lamborghini. No, it's because what you got up here. Because to tell you the truth, yeah, she right. You are not queens. You are the mother of civilization. That's the white woman is a queen. That white woman will go in a crowd of black men and come out of a crowd of black men and say, he raped me, and kill all of them. Have them all killed. That's a queen. She will sacrifice herself to keep the king. You are the mother of civilization. You above a queen. Kings and queens, that's for white people. Look at it. And you're above all that. You're on a goddess level. Everything a woman do comes from a black woman. Everything, the ways of women in every culture comes from a black woman. And you are that. I'm proud to be a natural mate to a black woman, because she's the most powerful thing on this planet. She can bring us back with her womb. We can never be extinct. She can bring us back. Man, it's just deep. It's real deep. But, I ain't finna, I go into all that. I get it.
Nah, it's good. You're saying what you said. Listen, like I said, that's why I was excited about, interviewing you, because I knew that you was going to definitely come on and speak truth and drop knowledge. Things that people need to hear. Sometimes a lot of people run away from that and they just want to turn up and party all day, but it's not about a song and a dance all day. Even though, we might need to do that, sometimes to get our mind off of things, but we got to stay focused, and that's important. And that's another reason is, with everything that's going on with the artists in the industry, I think the main question that I always ask people, and this is just general to everybody, when you're doing what you're doing, when they're out there representing themselves in another way, do they consider that winning? Because what is really winning to someone? You know what I mean? Is winning, oh, I'm financially set, oh, I'm popular, everybody know me, my numbers is up on social media, or I made a difference, I made change. Like, everybody vision is different. So what is really winning?
Well, I don't know. I don't look
Let me tell you something.
I don't look at those artists as
Let me tell you
winners
something.
because they failing our people. You know, every time they put out something dumb, their message is teaching our kids something done. They teach our boys that being a drug dealer or a gangbanger is more better than owning your own business, you know, or being, that's the
Let me tell
only
you
way to
something.
be wealthy.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to your music, this is what I noticed. You don't just drop knowledge. You're not just conscious. You have fun too. That's what make the music. That's make you're well-rounded. You don't just drop knowledge. You got songs where you're having fun. You got songs where you're talking about relationships. Then you got songs where you go straight in at them devils. But then you got songs you say, wait a minute, let me give them something more. Let me show. That's when a real artist does that. And the first thing we got to realize is this. This is what we got to realize as the people. There's no such thing as a rich African-American person.
Yep.
And somebody got mad at me for saying that, but I had to explain it to them. I said, who's the most wealthiest person in our nation? Now I want you to interview them and watch the fear in their eyes when they get ready to talk about white people. Look at their eyes. Look at the fear. They're afraid because at any time they could be shot in their head and killed. There's not a such wealth. Wealth is security. When you got wealth, talk to a rich white man that's got a lot of money. He's secure. He say what he want. He do what he want. He drive his Ferrari top speed on the middle of the road. He's free. That's wealth. That's being rich. An African-American man can never do that. He can never do that. You always go back to being a nigga. They let you play around with a little bit of their dollars. But I seen Dr. Dre in the interview talking about Jimmy Iovine when he signed that Beat by Dre's contract. He said, I was scared. He said, I knew I messed up. I told Tyrese that I was finna be the first black billionaire in hip hop. I was scared. And Jimmy called me. And I just had to apologize to him and tell him I'm sorry. Is there anything we can do? You ever seen that interview? I said,
no,
that
I
ain't
don't think
rich.
I've seen that.
That ain't rich. I said, that ain't rich at all. That's not a rich man. He ain't behaving like a rich man. They let them play with a little wealth. They let them tell them, this nigga made it, you can make it too. And none of us gonna make it under their regime. None of them gonna make it. They want to put them in the forefront. So you'll say, this is what you can do to make money. You gotta kiss our ass and be afraid of us and hope they don't kill your black ass.
Yeah, and they only let a certain amount in. You know, it's only a certain amount they'll let in. You know, they'll say, you know, they'll tell all of us, hey, this is what you can do to make it. But they won't let everybody make it. You know, it's only the ones who's putting out that message of how fucked up we are, how that we're savages and beasts, that they'll go, hey, I like that. That's the, you know, those are the ones who's controlling our message. We're not controlling our message. And then it's easier.
They'll make them the sharp part of the pyramid. That make that person the sharp part of the pyramid. So you'll look up to them and you'll want to be like them. And then one day you're gonna look up and say, it's not even who I am. And then you're gonna take all that stuff off, the whole clown show off. Malcolm X is a great movie. Everybody should watch that movie, even though some things in it is not true. But everybody should watch that movie because he was a clown. He was a fool wearing coon suits, walking around, destroying his hair, doing all this bad stuff. But then once he found himself, he realized that was never who I was. I was ashamed. I realized that was never who I was. And then when he became the ultimate man, he learned a lot. He was educated. He had debates with people from Harvard and professors, all because he tapped into his African-American brain and who he really was.
Well, you see, when you say that, and that's sad. When you say that's when I go back to like the females in the industry who talk about certain things. It's almost similar. Somebody might have to influence them, but they have to want the message. You have to want change. We could want change for everybody, but it doesn't matter if someone doesn't want it for themselves. So sometimes the talking could just fall on deaf ears and people, you know, oh, you're just preaching, you're this, you're that, and this, you know, that's how they take it. So the person has to actually want better and want change. When, you know, Malcolm X, he was locked up when he got that. Sometimes, like when I was interviewing this guy named Tyrone Muhammad, he was talking about how, you know, when he was locked up, they take everything away from you. So you're not distracted by these worldly things. And now all you have is to focus on certain stuff. So, you know, when change came about for him, he was locked up. He wasn't distracted by a lot of different things. And what's that other guy? It was a boxer. It was a movie. Was it Hurricane?
Yeah.
One of the things that he said in his movie, and I always loved it, and I hope I quote it right, but when they were trying to get him to take part in certain things when he was locked up, he refused everything. He said, because then I give them control to take something away from me, and I'm not going to give them that control. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you this. What do you think would make a difference in this music industry where we take back the control that we should have in rap, in our culture, period? What is it that you think that we can do as artists, and how other people could join in to help?
Okay, we got to stop supporting mainstream artists altogether. If it's a major artist that's a mainstream artist, don't support him. Don't buy his music, don't support him. Only support the underground, because you know that that person was absolutely chosen. All the major artists, they are put in front of you. You told the listener, the radio station is gonna play them. The big record label is gonna put money behind this person to misinfluence your generation. So stop playing them. Stop playing them. When people ask me who's your favorite artist, I said, who? Tell me what you mean. Who's your favorite rap artist? I said, okay, my favorite rap group is the Horseshoe Gang. My favorite female artist is Lady Miz. My favorite poet is Silhouette the Poet. Well, you ain't named nobody that we know. Good. Because they all are sellouts, and I know it. They're homosexuals and they sellouts. That's just the truth. And I'm not saying I got nothing against homosexuals. I'm just saying they're getting favors because of their sexual preference. That's not right. That's not right. 90% of the music industry is the homosexuals. They own this music industry, not just the truth. Well, is you homophobic? There's not a such thing. There's not a such thing as male chauvinist. There's not a such thing as homophobic. Those words has been used to weaken the black man. There's not a such thing. A black man's supposed to be strong. He's supposed to be encourageable. He's supposed to be that kind of guy. That's who he's supposed to be. You asking him to stop and don't be that way. Don't be so boastful. Don't be this way. Don't be so strong. Don't be so hard. That's exactly what we need. They would call James from Good Times a male chauvinist in this time. Luther Vandross would have never been a star in this time. The boys are too pretty. He was fat, out of shape, and everything. He would never be a star. He couldn't just sing and be a star for his talent. He had to look a certain way and move a certain way and do this and do that. And everybody's a star. It's too feminine. That's ridiculous.
Think about it. That's true. Because they guys now are wearing girls. They're wearing blouses, carrying purses, and putting on heels now, and they're actually bragging about it. You know.
Yeah.
So you think? So do you think that the industry is favoring guys who come off more as being feminine? That's the first question. Do you think that?
Okay, let me tell you something. The number one selling artist ever is Lil Nas X. Now, you are MC. You write your own rhymes. You produce your own productions. You know that he's not the number one selling artist ever. When Michael Jackson was the number one selling artist ever, you knew Michael Jackson deserved it. When you heard The Lady in My Life, the vocals, the ranges, you said, oh, well, he the number one selling. He deserves it. Now, you know Lil Nas X is not no number one selling artist. That boy barely could put two rhymes together.
Do you think it's because it was on the country side also?
He said, I'm a gay man. That's all he had to say. He knew what to say. All he had to say was, I'm gay.
Do you think some people are saying that they're gay, but they're not really gay just to fit into what the industry is about?
Well, most of them say that until they get raped by them parties. They bring them to them parties and they rape them, man, like they women. They sure do. They sure do. That's true. And it ain't no lie. Everybody think, oh, that's just, look, in 1963, when JFK was assassinated, they came up with this term called conspiracy theory. Now, that term was very popular at that time. Then it went away until Elvis Presley passed away. Then conspiracy theory became real because they kept saying, he's alive, he's not dead. That term is used to hide the truth. The word conspiracy, the two words conspiracy theories, is the term they use to hide all the truth about the vaccine and everything that's going on. It's a conspiracy theory. How people dismiss people. You can't educate people no more because they keep that word in the back of their head in order to dismiss certain people they don't want to listen to.
Yeah, they're doing it now with all the marches. They're all now saying, oh, this all happened. Is this a conspiracy? Because George Soros, he's the one that control all this. Like with George Floyd getting killed, that was a plan. Like really, that's everything now has become a conspiracy theory, no matter what it is.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this is what I had to ask. I asked everybody this: who's the most powerful white man in America? Bill Gates. The most powerful black man to ever live in America was Elijah Muhammad. And when people realize that, they'll be better off. I'm not saying he was the greatest man, or he was nice, or he was friendly, or I agree with everything he said, but he was the most powerful black man to ever be in America. He started a nation that still exists, and that teaches you to discipline yourself and teaches you to go to the next level. And I don't care what nobody say, it's true. Now, I don't agree with everything. I can't do it. I read How to Eat to Live. I can't do this. I said, I can't do this. Because the reason I can't do it is because when I was growing up, the way my mother raised me, it made me spoiled to certain things that's not good for me. She used to put pork in vegetables. Well, my grandma did. My mama didn't do that. But she used to put pork in vegetables. I'm eating fried chicken and loving it. Eating certain things that I just couldn't. I wasn't disciplined enough to give up certain things. Because I was, like when my son was born, his first 10 years of his life, he only was allowed to eat vegetables. He wasn't allowed to eat meat. He wasn't allowed to drink sodas. I had to make him addicted to good things instead of allowing him to fall a victim to the things that victimize me. And I couldn't do it. I read How to Eat to Live, book 1 and 2. I couldn't eat this. I couldn't eat one time a day. You had to cut out meat. You had to. I was like, I can't do that. I tried, and I just still be hungry. It's like, but I didn't have the willpower. I was a weak man to those conditions. But I had to make sure my son wasn't going to be weak to those conditions. That's the only thing I can do. That's what a real man do. But I'm just telling you, that man gave us enough knowledge so we shouldn't be in this situation. And that's just the truth, whether you want to admit it or not.
Right. And that, to me, that goes back to the people who want to accept the information. You have some people that are complacent and don't want change. And I think that's where the problem starts. It starts here first in the mind. You have to want it here first. You know what I mean? And then change could come about.
That's like, ignorance is a choice. With all the knowledge you got out here, people go, well, why is this person ignorant? That's a choice. You can never say that there's not knowledge out here for anybody. And
Google is the greatest book ever read. Google. You don't got to read no books. Hit Google. Ask the questions.
Yep.
My dad was a teacher. My dad, he wasn't a teacher, but he made me learn certain things young. I was 4 years old. He made me learn certain things. I had to watch certain movies and sit down, watch them, and write on my paper and explain things to him why this took place. And he made me that way young. So now I see things different when I look at them. I never ate pork a day in my life. I don't even know what it tastes like. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just certain things that he put out there for me. He wasn't a part of the Nation of Islam, but at the same time, the books were for public knowledge. You go in the black bookstore, you can pick a book up and read it. It ain't saying that you can't get this book if you ain't a part of the nation. You can get the books that you might not even like the man or respect the man, but this man created Malcolm X, Louis Farrakhan, and Muhammad Ali. I want to know what he got to say. Because there was some powerful people in our community. I really want to know what he got to say. But we dismiss him like, nah, we ain't listening to that. And then a person told me the other day, they said, well, he wasn't a Christian. He's on that Muslim stuff. I said, he's mentioned in the Bible. No, he's not. Yes, he is. Malachi 4. He's mentioned in the Bible. They opened the Bible and they seen his name in there. They seen how they described him. Oh, he is mentioned. I said, man, come on, man. We're going to do this or not. We're going to do this or not. Let's just step up and be real, for real.
I want to say something to what you said, because you made a really good point about starting young. So I think also too, I mean, it can happen at any age, but I think when you teach a child at a very young age, it's hard for someone to tell them a lie. It's, a lie is easily accepted when you're misinformed and you don't know, and you have your oppressor teaching you. Then of course, because the brain has to accept something that's true. And if that's all that's being fed to them, then a lot of people will believe what their oppressor teach them. But you said that your dad taught you at a young age and you never had pork. So how is it when your grandmother was putting that in her food, did your parents say that you couldn't eat it, or did they refuse?
Huh? They wouldn't let me eat it in our house. They told me I couldn't eat it. They said, you cannot eat that. My cousin was eating it. I said, what that fat piece of meat that she keep putting in the butter beans? And they was like, she do that for flavor. I said, what kind of flavor? They said she do that to add flavor to the food. It's smoked. It was fat back, I think. I never tasted it.
Yeah, fat, yeah.
It add flavor to it. It make it really taste good. That was my cousin was telling me, man, I love this stuff. But we couldn't eat it. We had to sit there and not eat. My dad said, no, my kids only eat when I'm around. I got to supervise them when they're eating, or their mother got to supervise them while they're eating. My mother, what made me who I am, my mother supported my dad's will. That's what most people don't do no more. They say, oh, I'm just going to do this so your dad shut the hell up. No, support his will completely. I don't care what kind of man you with. Those are his seeds. And you got to support his will. If you don't support his will, you're automatically putting a divide between yourself and the kids. You know what I'm saying? But she had to support his will completely. And I understood that. I look at it now that I'm a grown man, because my ex-wife refused to do that with me. So I realized that was the difference between my mother and my ex-wife. She supported my dad. My dad, I remember my dad, it was a singer named Jermaine Stewart. It had a song out, We Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off, and I was a little kid. So my sisters, we all get in front of the TV watching videos, so we'll look at this song, and it was Jermaine Stewart, and my dad, like, I want my son seeing that. My mama cut it off right away. She like, because that's a weak man, and I want my son to be no weak man. That's been kicking his feet up and singing about we don't have to take our clothes off to have a good time. The message he's saying is good, but he's looking like a weak man, and my son would start imitating that, and that's the worst thing you could do to me. And she said that, she said, I understand. I'll never forget that conversation. I was like, I like that song. My mama said, that's a sugar boy, and you're not going to be a sugar boy, son. Your dad, that'll break your dad's heart, and you're not going to do that. And I always remember how she supported his will. And I look at that now. That stuff like that is important. And then I'm in my 30s, opposed to when I was in my 20s. It didn't matter then. But now that stuff like that matters. A woman got to support your will. If she supports your will, y'all can have anything. And y'all can produce a powerful seed. But if she don't
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, because that's a good point. And I do agree, because I believe that a unit is stronger, with the two parents on the same page, working together. That's how you build up your kids, and they need to see that. What if the man is not that type of man? What if the woman is that type of woman, but the man is not like that? What if the man is the total opposite? Do the woman support that man now? Or do the man support the woman?
The child will be conflicted. The child gonna be conflicted. The child gonna be conflicted. He gonna have to make a decision on which parent it's like a war. He gonna have to make a decision on which parent they're gonna fall to, based off their nature that they took from both parents. The child gonna be conflicted 9 times out of 10. Because if your mother and your father's always arguing on little shit, not nothing major, on little stuff, then you gonna have a situation. Because you watching them argue, you gotta pick which side I'm gonna go with. Because I knew a woman that her dad was a Muslim, her mama was a Christian. And I had to explain to her, they're not really that different. She was like, why you say that? I said, my mama was a Christian, my dad was a Muslim. I said, Christianity give more freedom, first of all. Islam have more discipline. But Islam is a continuation of Christianity. I said, Christianity stopped with Jesus. Islam go to Muhammad. And if you're in the Nation of Islam, it go to Elijah Muhammad. I said, that's the only difference. There's no difference other than that. They could really get along if they really wanted to. They just don't like each other. And I said, because they got lost in lust, and they just really didn't never find love. They just don't really like each other. And she got pregnant before she can get out of it. That ain't true. She talked to her mother. Mom said, yeah, that is true. I said, I'm telling you, I know people. That's how people are. It happens. It's a mistake. Sex should be taken more seriously. And it should be better supervised by women. Because women are having a lot of kids with men that they don't have a future with. Because most of these women are stepping up. They bossing up, and these men refuse to. So you find situations that is not very, it's going to hurt us in the long run.
I'm a little old-fashioned with certain things. I do believe that, it should be a unit. The parents should work together and both bring in things. But I am old-fashioned with thinking like, okay, for instance, if the bills ain't paid, then everybody's looking at my husband. If the house ain't clean, everybody's looking at me. I do believe that as a woman, that there are some things that is my job as a woman in the house. So, and I know some people, you know, we live in a time today where everybody, you know, they think differently, and they're like, well, you know, you shouldn't base things on gender and stuff. And I get that too. That's why I said I believe that, you know, both parties should bring to the table. But when it's all said and done, in my way of thinking, and this could, you know, this is just me, I still believe that a woman has her place and a man has his place. And I think that when you bring those two together, that's how a good household comes about. So that's just my opinion on how I feel about, you know, certain things.
Listen. A man is a provider and a protector. A woman brings nutrients to the family, and that's everything that dealing with health. If you go to a man's house and he got a wife and his house is nasty, you're going to look at his wife. I don't care what you say. You're going to look at his wife like, how can she even live like this? And if she don't have things that you think she should have, her grass ain't cut, her trash ain't tucking out, her car run bad, you can look at that man and say, what kind of man is this? You can pretend like you're not. You can pretend like you're not, but you will. Because you know why you know that? Because you're in tune with this planet. You're the mother of civilization. You're in tune with this planet, and you know what it takes to keep this planet running at a consistent rate. You do know that naturally. You know that the black woman can will. The black woman will is so powerful. She can will certain things to existence. We just got to get her back on track. Once the black woman back on track, all these problems we have are gonna go away because her will is powerful.
That's deep. That's deep. I don't want this to cut us off because I know Zoom only give us 40 minutes, but it's such a great conversation. I love it, which I knew it was going to be anyway. But I do want, I want to make sure I get this in before this happens. So please just tell people, you know, what you have coming up. Tell people how they can follow you and how they can support you.
Well, I got an album coming out called The Beginning of the End. And on this album, I got King James on it. I got Silhouette the Poet. I got Madman, you know, coming back and doing some rapping. He rap on every one of my albums. I got King James. I got Silhouette the Poet. I got Madman. I got Julius from the Horseshoe Gang. I got North Sounds from Canada. He got with me, and we did a song when I was at a festival up there. I got who else I got? I don't want to leave nobody out. I think that's about it. I got those people on this album, and you know, I'm real excited about it. It should be dropping sometime this week or maybe next week. I'm not sure because they got pushed back because they messed up some editing. So they pushed it back. I had to resubmit some things, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm real excited about this one. I got another album coming out this end of this year called The Patient. You know, I call myself Saen the Madman because well, I started calling myself Saen the Madman years ago, like a sane madman. I'm crazy, but I'm a madman. And the reason I call myself a madman, because after the assassination of Malcolm X in 1965, you got to be crazy because I'm not never going to stop doing that. So I call myself the madman, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I go by the madman. People y'all ask me that. But yes, I got the album coming out called The Beginning of the End. It should drop sometime this week. I hope everybody enjoy it. I got my old album that came out called The Body of a Madman. You can go get that on all digital outlets, 18 tracks. You know what I'm saying?
And your social medias, where can people go to support you?
You can follow me at SAEN MADMAN. That's Saen Madman. You can follow me anywhere. And
that's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of the social medias.
All of them. That's Twitter, Instagram, Saen Madman at SAEN MADMAN. And then you even can get my some of my released music off of what's that's called, Soundcloud, Saen Madman. Okay. SAEN MADMAN. That got some of my older stuff that was only on CD. FYE. It was only on CD, and I took and put it on SoundCloud so people could still hear it because I was more conscious then. But you know, on A Body of a Madman, I kind of got into a little party thing because I was going overseas to Asia a lot, and they catered to karaoke. So I had to create a couple of sing-alongs and put some some vocalists on there, and you know, just man, it was auto tune time, so I did some stuff that
Okay, that's fine. You well rounded, and that ain't nothing wrong
you
with
know,
that.
just
You know, that's what artists
2010.
do. Yes. Now, is there a specific
Yeah,
main
but a
spot where
lot of
you
my
want
fan
people to
base was
go?
mad about that.
Huh?
A lot of my fan base was mad at me at that the auto tune shit I was doing. What would you say?
No, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, look, sometimes people got to understand what an artist is, and it's not about just doing one thing. It's art it comes in many different forms. I was saying, is there a specific place where you would prefer people to go get your music from if they wanted to support you, or you're just okay with all of the platforms?
Man, I just want you to hear it because you know the streaming. I would prefer people to buy the MP3s. Me personally. I would prefer you to buy the MP3s because the streaming don't, man, I had my song No Parking Lot was #2 on Apple Music and it didn't pay hardly nothing. I thought that would have paid a lot more. And that's when I realized the business that I was in. So I got to the point I didn't even really want to drop no more music because I'm like, I'm not even making no money off this. I just keep doing shows overseas and just cater to the show business. I got a DJ, we travel, we go shut shit down. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep dropping albums, but I gotta understand what I'm gonna get out of it, and I know I'm not getting much out of it, so I just accept it. That's what it is. So it's gonna be everywhere. I put out that I want you to hear the music, and then when you come to the concert, you have a real environment when you already aware of what I'm about to perform. You know, so.
Okay, so my last question is for you said the MP3s, and where can people go purchase the MP3 itself?
iTunes and Amazon Music. If you go to Amazon, they try to get you to stream. Do not stream. That's what we got to do as an artist. That's what I'm finna tell you. We got to start buying MP3s. We got to like when I buy your music, I buy the MP3s, and then I go stream it on YouTube. If I'm gonna stream it, I'm gonna have the MP3. First thing I'm gonna do is make a purchase. I'm gonna make a purchase. I'm gonna buy your music, and then I'm gonna stream it. If I gotta stream it, okay, I'm gonna stream it while I'm riding around. Somebody else wanna hear you. I grab their phone right quick. Say, hey, check out YouTube. I know everybody got YouTube, but me personally, I want to contribute. So I'm buying the MP3, and then I'm gonna stream you on YouTube to get your streams up. That's how I do things. When it's an artist I really like. If it's an artist I really like, I say, oh, this is dope. I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna stream it. But yeah, we got to get back to that. They tricking us. They taking our power away.
And now that you say that, because I think about it, when if we stayed away from mainstream and all independent artists support each other to we buy your music, you buy our music, and we spread the independent artists to make it bigger than mainstream media
and their fans.
And their fans, if independent artists got to supporting each other like that, well, we would be more powerful than mainstream media.
Absolutely.
If we do it that way,
we gotta take the control away from us. They can't keep the control. We gotta take the control. We gotta say, oh no, we ain't buying Lil Nas X. No, we ain't buying. You can buy that shit. Y'all can go buy that shit, but we are not gonna do that. We're gonna give our people a platform. We need to start back going to concerts, like small concerts, where somebody performing, say, hey, yo, I'm coming to check you out. Go back to a concert and don't know who performing. Just go in there and just let everybody go on stage and rock. Don't go there saying, oh, Gucci Man is here, or the Migos is here. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put it on their name, put it on their music. Go there, just go to different. When I was overseas, when I went to the Philippines, they didn't know who I was that first time I went there. They just loved hip hop. They didn't care. As long as you did good hip hop, they didn't care. It was a hip hop venue. It was packed. I'm telling you, thank God I was in the VIP session because people was packed from shoulder to shoulder. I can't deal with that kind of stuff. But when I got on stage, I gave them a good show. And they loved it. And they all bought my music, my MP3s back then. So they loved it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah. So that's good. So basically people buy the MP3. That's the best way. And one thing I want to say before we get out of here is that, it's a shame. And please I see that you're still doing the music. I think that we might be coming into different times for, music, and people are waking up. So don't walk away from it. continue to give us your greatness and continue to produce the music that you're doing. I know you might feel like, okay, I'm not getting this way, but there's always another way, because they have control, right, of how they do it in the mainstream. But when you own your own stuff and you put it out and you do it your way and you direct sell, that's how you get more of your money. So there are ways that we can do things where we get more of our money. It's just about figuring it out and then supporting one another and getting the word out there. I also want to tell you that DJC Radio Global is a independent licensed radio station that I co-host there every first 2 Thursdays of the month. We will be playing your music on there, and it will be in rotation. Make sure when you can go check that out. It is licensed with BMI, so if you have BMI, you will get paid for your spins. It is about support. That is strictly for independent artists. Strictly for independent artists. His name is DJ Cisco, and he's been doing this for years. And so I just wanted to let you know about that, because there are people and platforms that cater only to independent artists for this very reason, because other people are shutting us out. So I just want to end it on that note and tell people to please, 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 if you have not followed Saen, am I saying it right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, wait a minute. Make sure you go follow him on all his social medias. Make sure you support him if you're about music, if you're about the art, if you're about the culture. He is an artist that you definitely should be supporting. Cop his MP3. Buy that first and then stream the song and spread the word. Is there any ending words that you want to say to the people before we get out of here?
All I want to say is this: I appreciate you for the opportunity. Thank you for everything. And ladies and men, I got to say this to you. You need to go overseas. I'm telling you, if you go to Japan with the way you flow and the way you rap, you will come back a millionaire. I'm speaking that to existence. You need to start international traveling and doing your music. I don't know how this country shit going, because I'm supposed to be overseas right now, but I can't go because of this corona shit and all this stuff. I'm scared I'm gonna get locked out the country. I'm not even gonna lie. I got a passport and stuff. I'm a little afraid, but all the shows been canceled anyway. But I'm telling you, you get paid the stuff that you do. Man, I'm serious.
I did hear that before. I guess, I got to get to that point. But right now, I'm scared to go anywhere like you. So we're going to play it safe right now. But hopefully we get to it.
I don't like I appreciate it. That damn man. I don't want to get locked away from my mama.
I appreciate it so much. I don't want this to cut us off, so I want to end it on that note. I will be in touch with you anyway. I'm so glad that we are connected now. Thank God for social media and the judges table, because I wouldn't have, I wouldn't have known you. You know what I mean? So that's why I do like the social media. It helps us connect to people that we probably would not have seen unless we were in the same location or something. So we do want to thank God for that, right? So anyway, again, make sure you guys go check him out. I'll be putting all this on the screen when I put it out, and you'll see. I'll be in touch soon. So thank you once again. Thank y'all for tuning in and watching.
Be blessed. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, I appreciate you, brother, because it's not a lot of people, it's not a lot of brothers out here who wants to educate and let other brothers know how we could do things right, and where they'll listen. So keep it up, man, because it's somebody out here listening to you.
That's right.
Okay, bro. Hey, make sure you follow me, brother. I want to talk to you more.
I got you. Soon as we get off here.
All right, you be blessed.
You too.
Okay.
All right, later. Peace.
Later.
If you could see it how I see, hear it how I heard, you would say it too. The trust is a fool's word. You would say it too. The trust is a fool's word. You would say it too. The trust is a fool's word. You would say it too. I ask God, do I gotta be a nigga all of my life? The ones you fuck that's a baby is robbing your wife. Ain't no whites is selling crap, but they would give it for free. Long guess they ain't gotta deal with a nigga like me. Trying to go legit, but they treat me like a buster. My dad told me from the jump to the working man's a sucker. Trying to make it to 65 to retire, we gon' live that long. Drive-bys in the hood, rifle still spitting crime. I only got one essay, hope you feel my songs. In the industry and labels trying to conceal my tongue. I'm eating unhealthy cause mama always made it good. The government robbing like the junkies in the neighborhood. I never learned to do the right thing. In middle school, broke, eating lunch off a fucking dice game. My dad couldn't see my birth, hustling for a baby crib. Like father, like son, that was how we made it live. They say don't point the finger, got my pistol up. I was born to lose, so really I don't give a fuck. I love everybody, but I'm trying to save my own. My kids don't play outside because the cable on, and we call this a stable home. In black neighborhoods, gangsters still blazing chrome. Let's take time and put that shit up the block just a little bit, but we would rather kill our brothers over little shit.